We're live. Hey man, the duo is finally back. If you guys go to my channel. There you go. Okay. So as I don't know if StreamYard's having some difficulty, but it keeps going in and out. But yeah. So if you guys are not new around here and I've been around me for a long time. Well, not a long time, but a couple months. Me and On the Warpath did this every single week, really, in the all season. So no need to really introduce ourselves, but why not let On the Warpath introduce itself for the new people out there?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sanchez 405 on the Warpath. Y'all know what I do over there on my channel. Talking about Washington football, probably ad nauseum, but it is what it is. Do a lot of live streams and then supplement that with a few little videos talking about my favorite team, our favorite team, and Juan. Man, I appreciate you reaching out to me and get the band back together, man, because we were doing this during the summer. I think this was like a religious experience during the summertime because we were like 1-2 because I think I was out in Missouri one weekend. I was in my car doing it with you.
Still got it done.
Yeah, bro. But I'm glad to be back here. Thank you as always, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Everyone's welcome to come on the channel anytime. I'm not that person that like that's a mean person or whatever, especially me being a younger person. Why would I do that? So I'm open to everybody coming on here. And our shows are really freestyle. We don't really have anything written down. So before we get into obviously the state of the Washington football team, what is your
I think got a little freeze.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep
Oh man. Oh gosh, it's freezing up on us again. Oh. What's up, everybody? What's up, Chase Bill? How you doing? T-Ho, Franklin, William.
Hello.
Hey, man.
let me switch computers because
All right.
obviously this MacBook is tripping tonight. But like I was saying, what is your state of like the name? Because it just came out that Jason Wright saying that basically it's confirmed that we will be the Washington football team for the next, I guess 2 years or a year or so.
Yeah. Well, it's a two-part thing, really, to be honest with you. And part one is I don't really care what the name is as long as we're winning, right? I mean, we could be the Washington bottom feeders, but keep on winning games and everything. It wouldn't matter to me. And then the marketing side of it is that I want them to get this right. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to rush it. I want them to get the name right, the slogans, the hashtags, the uniforms, the everything right, everything down to the toilet bowls looking right at FedEx Field. I want that. I don't want a half-done project with a name. I want it to be right. Washington is not famous for doing things right. When we're the Redskins, we're starting to get a little bit of credibility back in how we're doing things ever since the Washington Post articles and everything. So I'm cool with Washington football team for a year, if need be a second year. But I just want them to get it right. And dear God, no red tails.
Yeah,
no red tails.
I'm definitely with you on that one. But at the same time, if you guys know me, you guys know that I'm over it. I really don't care what the name is. I'm fine with being a Washington football team. You don't become a fan of a team because of the name. Maybe in some cases, but in my case for myself, I'm speaking for myself here. You don't become a fan of a team for the name, or should I say me? I didn't become a fan of the team because of the name. I fell in love with the players. So as long as the players on the field, I don't really care what the name is. I'm fine with Washington football team. You know what I'm saying? It grew on me. And I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but I will still be calling whatever, even if our new name is something else, I still will be calling my team the Redskins because at the end of the day, we're really the
That's right.
Redskins. So watch the football team. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. I think the same way because I'm from the DMV, from Northern Virginia originally, so I stick with that. That's a team that came on all the time while I was up there, when I lived up there, and it still does when I go home. So that's always going to be my squad. Yeah.
All right. So mid switch, as you can see, I still even got I haven't used this computer in a while, so because I still got the Ravens and Redskins background, but we're gonna have to roll with with this one for stream because obviously the MacBook is tearing up and whatnot. So I'm gonna just roll like this for a little bit because the camera on this computer isn't the best. So yeah, man, we'll get back to regularly scheduled programming. So after the name situations going out and everyone basically confirming that we
I think we might have hit another snag.
I'm so sorry for I don't know what is going on with my connection today.
Oh man.
I don't know, dude. Let me try my phone now. I'm trying to do everything over here to get a good show going, and Wi-Fi won't let me do it. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm totally sorry. But my question that I was trying to ask before what do you rate the coaching staff as far as, obviously the important ones? No offense to the special or to the other coaches, the position coaches.
So I guess what you probably were asking is probably the Ron and the four coordinator and the three coordinators. So or the two coordinators, maybe offensive, defense. So can you hear me, Juan?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Were you asking like for Ron and and Jack and Scott?
Yeah, I said no offense to the to the position coaches. Maybe Kenzan Peasy, but other than that, I no offense to you guys, but I'm talking about the big dogs.
Okay. So I guess we'll start on defense then. And then I'll move up to Ron. I'll say Ron for last. I'll give him I'll give Jack Del Rio a B plus in what they're doing, maybe a B. They haven't figured out the linebacker spot yet, which is kind of disturbing because they both, Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio, played linebacker and they were both effective in the NFL. And Steve Russ, who's the linebackers coach, I know we're not grading him, but you seem like you've got three guys that are capable of coaching linebackers, and they just can't get the most out of these cats. My biggest question is where's Sean Dion Hamilton? I think the safety situation is starting to solidify a little bit with Cameron Curl, DeShazer Everett. So you got a guy that you drafted, and a lot of people don't realize this about Cameron Curl. He left Arkansas early, so he probably would have been like a second-day pick. But he was drafted in the last round. So I think for that's why you got to give Jack a B plus. And you know the way Chase is being double teamed and Montez is eating out of that, and Tim Settle is having his best season. And you know, wish you could see a little bit more out of the Bama boys, but I give this defense a B plus. They're number one in passing, but I think that is because they kind of lack in the run stopping ability there. Hey, it's 2-1 guys.
So this one should be fine because it's my phone.
All right. Yeah, you coming in clear now.
Yeah, it's a little weird because the comments on the screen. I never did mobile before. That's cool. Yeah, so guys, no lag should be happening anymore because I'm on my phone. So let me remove the other one, Gotti. All right, okay, cool. We cool now. So
there you go.
All right. So who are you on? You were on Scott?
I was on Jack Del Rio. I gave him I'll give him a B for what they're doing because they still got questions at linebacker, like who's going to take that spot. I think really, you know, you're kind of running game with Cole. I think Cole Holcomb is probably shown the most out of linebackers, and maybe KPL at times. John Bostic, I don't know why his playing time actually has went down, so that's good. The emergence of Cameron Curl, DeShazer Everett as a tag team at safety, and just figuring out everything, getting Chase to take the double team and letting Montez eat, and then Tim Settle having his best season of his career so far. So I give him a B right now. I do. I think he's done a great job getting this defense coached up with a lot of the same talent. And then we can't discredit Ronald Darby. I know Kendall Fuller was doing good, but Ronald Darby, outside of Thanksgiving, he's played average, slightly above average, I think. I think he was outrating Kendall on Pro Football Focus like last week. So that might have changed, but I think he's done really well. It's a good free agency pickup along with Kendall. For the offense, people are going to get mad at me when I say this. I am going to give the offense, I'm thinking this from a broad spectrum, I'm giving them a D+. Because they're still like the quarterback mishandling the quarterback situation, you know, not running the ball in situations where they probably should have ran the ball. You know, you've got Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin and Antonio Gibson, good things. Now, I would give that game that he called in Dallas, I'd give that a B+. I think that was probably his best called game. He had a lot of gimmick plays that worked, a lot of gadget plays that worked. But I still need to see a little bit more. I need to see consistency out of him. And I think he could push that grade up into the high C's, depending on how they play against Pittsburgh this week and down the stretch against Pittsburgh, San Francisco, and Seattle. How they play. They don't necessarily have to win for his grade to go up, but you know, it is what it is. And Ron Rivera, I'm going to give this cat, I'm going to give him a C+. And a lot of that has nothing to do with him as Coach Ron Rivera, but because he's juggled a lot of hats. Hell, I'll give him a B. Because he had to juggle a lot of hats. He came into a crappy situation, got diagnosed with cancer, name change, sex scandals. The guy's done admirably. People in the media might get mad at him for not being consistent with them and his messaging. But at the end of the day, you got to think about it this way. This team, he's only accountable to his players, his coaches, and who he falls up to. So everybody at Ashburn, that's it. And they're not complaining about him. We don't hear these leaks about people complaining about Ron. So I think that's why I give the man a B- because he's not accountable to us at the end of the day or the media. He's accountable to the people that he is in charge of and who he reports to.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah. And one thing I'm gonna say on the Warpath, you're kind of like the math teacher. Because those grades, man, I felt like I I didn't turn in my work or something. Them grades, and I'm not saying they deserve A's because obviously they don't we're 4 and 7,
Right.
but a D?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, we're 4 and 7. We're 4 and 7.
Mean, I could understand it, but like, okay, so I'm gonna start with Jack Del Rio, and I gave Jack Del Rio a B plus because the first half of the season, and they kind of flip flop Jack Del Rio and Scott Turner. This first half of the season, defense was lights out. First half of the offense was struggling, and it was with Kyle Allen and Dwayne Haskins, obviously. And they somewhat flipped, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go coach by coach. So Jack Del Rio, he gets a B plus out of me because I mean, coming in this season, we thought the secondary was gonna be horrendous. And last time I checked, we have the best passing defense in the NFL. So secondary has been playing good, especially with the lack of Landon Collins out there, and that's a loss that thought we thought we were going to struggle with. Troy Aikman out there, we thought we were going to struggle with him, or we kind of did, and we kind of had to with Landon Collins' injury, we kind of had to shuffle our guys, and Shays and Cameron Curl has been a nice duo. So the secondary has been really solid, better than what I expected. Then the defensive line, we know what the defensive line is. We obviously know they're the best part on this football team, even without Matt Ioannidis. With Matthew Ioannidis on this line, God, do we miss him? Let me just put that out there. Do we miss him? Then the linebacking core is probably the worst in the NFL. The linebacking core, we just never have a good linebacking core. You know what I'm saying? Couple years we get lucky with one linebacker, but we never had a legit middle linebacker, two outside linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Cole Holcomb has been the only one, in my opinion, that has really been solid. John Bostic, horrible. Sean Deion Hamilton, why is he not on the field? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
KPL has been the other good linebacker from. He's definitely a re-sign without a question. So with that being said, I believe with Jack Del Rio had to work with, especially not getting this guy to training camp, as far as the pandemic going on, had to install. He gets a B out of me because every week he has his guys ready to go. Although he does make some questionable calls, he has his guys ready to fight each and every week, and that's more what you can ask for because under Joe Barry and under Manusky, it was just like, dude.
No.
So Jack Del Rio, he gets a B out of me, man. That's a B plus. I think I said a B plus. He gets a B plus out of me. Now, Scott Turner. This is probably where I agree with you on a D plus, but it's like he's on the D plus, and if he turns in one more assignment, he's up to the C. Scott Turner started off his here in Washington as the rookie offensive coordinator on a horrible note. And a lot of people in this fan base, including myself, we overreacted with Scott Turner. We expected Scott Turner to come in here and be lights out. But we had to realize, just like our quarterback at the time, they were young. Speaking for Scott Turner, this is his first year calling plays. Dwayne Haskins was young. So it was going to take some time for him to get it going. He had to put Kyle Allen in there or a veteran like Alex Smith in there so they could run this offense properly. And as you've seen with Alex Smith under the helm, this offense has been ran properly how it's supposed to be ran. So, like I reiterated earlier, they kind of flip. And I know I'm probably going out on a limb by myself. I don't know if I'm the only one that feel like that, but I felt that Jack Del Rio started the season clicking on all cylinders, and Scott Turner kind of struggled. Then, after the bye week, as far as we know, the run defense was atrocious for those couple games in New York against Detroit, just to name the two. We were atrocious on the run. So after the bye week, the defense was not what it was the first half of the season. Then around that same time, the offense started clicking. So I kind of feel like they flipped. But to be fair and to be honest, I'll give Scott Turner a D. But guys, people out there that's gonna be mad at me, he's one assignment away from having a C. So tell him to turn that assignment into me tomorrow morning, and he'll get his grade. So, with that being said, not good old Ron Rivera. Man, can Ron Rivera get an A? Can he get an A? Just because, for the simple fact of, obviously, he's a new coach. Listen, hear me out. He's a new coach. Then he had the pandemic. Well, and let's not know because every coach dealt with the pandemic. But a first year head coach, obviously not in the league, but with his new team, he didn't get to see him to training camp. And obviously, he's been through this with the Carolina Panthers, but still, he didn't get to see him through training camp. He was behind the 8 ball. Then, not to mention, he had cancer. He beat that, thank God. And each and every week, whether we win or lose, you can clearly see that he has his team winning or at least trying to win. We had a bunch of heartbreaks this season. Going back to the first New York game where we went for 2. After that, we beat the Cowboys. Week 8 that's week 9 rather, against the same New York Giants team. Another heartbreaker. We had 5 turnovers that game and we still only lost by 3. The following week in Detroit, Dustin Hopkins misses a field goal and Chase Young gets a penalty. Yet another heartbreak. So I said that to say this, that Ron Rivera, although we're 4-7, he's having his team ready to play each and every week. Each and every week they're going out there putting it on the line. And I don't know if I can say the same about a Jay Gruden kind of team. So Ron Rivera gets an A- from me just for everything that he had to deal with and for the simple fact that he has his team in prime position to win the NFC East.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm like the math teacher, right? I had a horrible math teacher in 7th grade. Her name was Mrs. Bardenhagen, and nobody could pass that class. She actually got fired in the middle of the year. And but I always remember, right? She didn't grade on a curve. She graded on how you did in her class. So I can't grade them on a curve being 4-7. You know what I mean? That's where, because you get that's what you're here to do. We're Herman would say you play to win the game, right? So right. That is we always ask the question, right, about any athlete. Well, what did he win? What did she win? Right? That's my biggest thing right now. Is and plus he's got to beat a team with a winning record, and you've got an opportunity to do that this week, possibly next week, and the week after next. So that's what I'm looking for out of him. Now his grade could go up to an A. Mm-hmm. If they somehow win the division, it could go up to an A. But right now I'm a hold tight at a C+.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So let's get to some of these comments in the comment section here. Outlaw says, "Why not us?" Shout out to Outlaw. Why not us, man? Why not us? You feel me? Why not us? Diego Vega says, "I'm scared. Ben's fast storm will cancel the pass rush effectiveness." And I kind of touched on that in my video. So that kind of does scare me because he gets the ball out in 2 seconds. But what do you think they need to adjust to still disrupt, I guess, the time or at least get to Big Ben?
Get your hands in his face. Hands up, man. You got to get your hands up. Be like jumping and everything. I think that you somehow, because he can get away with his feet. Like, I mean, he's almost 40, but he's still for a big guy, he's got a little bit of slide to him. So you got to make him uncomfortable and you got to contain him. Like, you don't want to get him outside the pocket or anything like that, but you need to get your hands in his face, try to bat balls down if you can. You got to play volleyball with him. I think you can affect what he does. Most quarterbacks at that age, the run game helps them out. Their running game is atrocious. They've only rushed for like 100 yards in the last one time in like the last 6 games. So, and that's as a total. I think it was like $109, but they've had like 90 some yards, 44. Cincinnati gave up 44 rushing yards to them in a 26-point blowout. Juan, Who does that? You think you'd be running the ball to kill the clock? They're still throwing. Like, it makes no sense. So yeah, man, you got to contain him. I really do believe you got to spike it. Get in his face, man. Get your hands in his face. But you might be too young to remember this, but in 2008, when they came to Washington a Monday Night Football game, he didn't play that well. And that was the year they won the Super Bowl. Washington actually injured him, and Byron Leftwich came in. I don't know who's his backup. It's Rudolph, the red-nosed rifle, and who else?
Devlin Hodges.
Oh, no, it's not Hodges anymore. I thought Hodges is on the practice squad still.
It's Mason Rudolph, and I don't.
Somebody else. It might be Hodges.
They elevate three quarterbacks on the day.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think that might be one of the only teams that possibly do
that. Yeah. But you gotta get in his face, bro. You got to.
Yeah, definitely for sure, man. Big Ben Roethlisberger, if you allow him to sit back there comfortably, he will carve you up. So, Tone Host says, Juju will crush us. I'm scared of him. I don't know. Because if they're going to line him up in the slot, and we can debate this, if they're going to line him up in the slot, why not put our best corner in the slot? Kendall Fuller, he started off his career as a slot corner. That's where he made his money. So why not put our best guy against their best guy? But that's the thing. Is Juju Smith-Schuster their best guy, or is it that kid out of Notre Dame, Chase Claypool?
I mean, right now, I think you'd have to give it to Claypool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, are we going to feel comfortable with, if they're going to use Juju in the slot, are we going to feel comfortable by putting Moreland on him in the slot, or should we put our best cornerback / best slot corner in the slot with him and trust Ronald Darby to check Claypool on the outside with a little bit of safety? That's what I would do if I was the defensive coordinator, but obviously that's most likely not going to happen. But yeah, I don't know if I would be scared of Juju. Yeah, he's a good football player, but he's not scary. If anything, I'm scared of Chase Claypool.
Yeah. Juju, and he's proven this. He's not Batman. He's not Batman. He's going to be Robin. So he finally got Claypool. That's why Claypool is doing so well, is how he's doing this year. Now, if Jimmy Moreland can play outside, and you think that Johnson is going to be less of a threat, and Moreland's comfortable outside, then throw Fuller in there. But if you think that Fuller is more valuable covering Johnson, then I would say, keep it and roll the dice with Jimmy in that respect, and then you got to think about it too. Now they've got a tight end who can get going sometimes, in Eric Ebron. That's another guy we got to worry about too, outside of Juju and everything. What's up, Pedro? So I don't know about that. It's weird because I understand what Juju can do, but Juju does it when he's got a great guy beside of him. And I guess it's Claypool. Will Darby bounce back? You think about it, we've had 2 weeks to prepare for these guys. Come Monday, it's going to be almost 2 weeks that we've had to prepare for them. So you should be ready, and you should learn your mistakes from the bye week.
Yeah, but last time we had 10 days to prepare for a team. We know what happened. Or should I say 10 plus days to prepare for a team. Or, just a bye week in general. Remember what happened last time. And that team was not good. And we remember how we came off that bye week. So coming off a mini bye week, playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, the only undefeated team, that's scary. But I will say this about Juju Smith-Schuster. He's not a guy that can be the true one on a team, or he could be a 2. But at the same time, if you take DeAndre Washington, or whatever his name is, the Washington dude, Johnson dude, I'm sorry, Deontay Johnson. If you take Deontay Johnson out of that lineup, and it's just Claypool and Juju, that offense wouldn't look the same. Because although I'm a big fan of Juju, he's not the best, but at the same time, it's like he is. Because you don't know what Juju you're gonna get because I don't know how to explain it, but it's like Juju isn't, the guy, but he is the guy. If you get what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense to with the way I broke it down. But Chase Claypool, on the other hand, like someone just said, Chase Claypool, he could end us. But at the same time, I feel if we play feisty with him, use our hands, get up in his ish, we could make it feisty. You know what I'm saying? That's where I hope we don't go wrong in this game. Because we know Jack Del Rio loves to play his soft zone. And I really hope we don't do that this game much so often, because you're giving them at least 3 yards, at least, on every play. Mm-hmm. So I want my guys in their grill using their hands. You know what I'm saying? If we run a bunch of man this game, I wouldn't mind it. You know what I'm saying? Just have safety help on Ronald Darby. That's all I ask for. I'm fine with Kendall Fuller. You know what I'm saying? One-on-one coverage. But Darby, I think we both could cover in one-on-one situations better than him.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only 40 I ever do, it's an alcoholic beverage. So I know I couldn't outrun nobody on there. So, but no, man, yeah, I get what you're saying. A man up, go up against and that's what Jack does. He said, you guys gonna have to beat me, get past me, which we saw that against Amari Cooper. And you look at this. I think Deontay Johnson, he might deserve a little bit more respect than Juju. Juju's only guy. He's got what 66 receptions. He's averaging under 9 yards a catch.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay Johnson is at 10.2. Chase Claypool's like 13.5. James Washington. So Juju Smith-Schuster, who's their number 3 wide receiver, is averaging under 9 yards. Who he was actually supposed to be the number 1 guy when Antonio left. So and like you said, it could be his reputation. His previous reputation might catch up with him, and he might ball out. But the numbers say he might not be that big of a threat as he used to be, because there's other guys in here that can do the damage.
Yep, definitely. What's going on? Redskin 007, what's up? Joseph Gibbs at Burnt Toast, Tone Ho, what's going on? Lamrick Anderson, what's going on, my man? What's going on, Vince? What's going on, Royce? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Thank you guys for pulling up to the stream. Make sure you guys like the stream, subscribe to On the Warpath, and share the stream out so we can get more people in here to talk Washington football with us. Now, back to the Washington football team and Pittsburgh Steelers game. We pretty much talked about our defense against their offense. Now let's flip sides and talk about our offense versus their defense. What do you think is the number 1 key for us to be successful in this game and possibly have a chance to win versus the Pittsburgh
Steelers? David Sharp is going to have to play one of his best games if we're staying with him at right, because I think that means he's going to match up against TJ Watt.
Wait, so I thought Cornelius Lucas was coming back this game.
Is Lucas coming back? Did he practice this week? I haven't seen the injury report.
Yeah, he practiced full yesterday, and I believe he practiced full the day before that too.
Okay.
And I think he practiced probably even full or limited today. I know that we're most likely going to get him and Shays back this week.
So I mean that means you're sitting pretty there too. As far as that goes, Lord, I haven't even checked the injury report this week. It's been a hectic week at work. So
yeah.
Yeah.
He says throwing double coverage with Minka.
Nah, I can't do that. Can't do that.
It's Vincent. No, he's Vincent the Washington fan. Okay.
Oh, okay. He said don't throw. I thought he said throw. I was like, I didn't see who said it. So I was like, he said throw. No, God, no.
On my phone, it doesn't have the full message. It just says throw. It doesn't have don't.
Oh, okay.
My bad, Vince. My bad. That's my fault. That's my fault. He says don't throw in double coverage with Minka. Yeah, Minka Fitzpatrick is playing at an all-pro level this year. Possibly the defensive player of the year. You can also say T.J. Watt in there. So, I'll let you continue once you pull up the injury report. But what I was gonna say is, first of all, at least survive the first half. Because every win that we had this year, we survived the first half. We were either down one possession or down a couple points or even up a couple points. All I gotta say is if we survive this first half versus the Pittsburgh Steelers team, we have a good chance of winning this game.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I think it comes to establishing the run too. Because if you look at it, when we run the ball, we win the game. I mean, I think if we have 30 carries or more this year, I think we're undefeated so far. I think we're 3-0 or something crazy like that. So that's one thing. And Pittsburgh, for all that they are 11-0, and you that gives all the credit and the criticism with it. People have questioned the quality of it, and one of the qualities is they don't stop the run. For a team that's blowing out teams, Pittsburgh has given up like 129 yards plus on the ground in 4 of their last 5 games. Last week, just on Wednesday, 129 yards to Baltimore on the ground, $139 of the Bengals, $144 to Dallas, 265 at Baltimore. So that's a glaring hole right there. That this defense, as it gets colder and people start focusing on the run, they've become more susceptible to it because I think in October and this is the same team that limited Henry down there at under 100 yards. So I don't know what happened to their run defense from there to then. From then to now. So, I mean, you got to establish it, whether it's with Gibson, Peyton Barber has shown flashes. I know people hate to hear that. And J.D. McKissick, these guys, they're going to need carries, and they're going to need to be physical. I kind of hope that it's bad weather in Pittsburgh, and it limits opportunities because that field is very bad. I think you need to establish the run. Good thing you're getting Cornelius Lucas back. And I don't know who he'll go up against on there. I think it's going to be Alex Highsmith there where they run that 34, so he'd be more of that edge rusher. So you'd have to go up against them. But I think you're going to have to establish the run in here. You shouldn't pass. I don't think we need to pass more than 20 times, at maximum 20 times.
Yeah, guys. Before I even say my piece, I'm going to agree with On the Warpath on here, man. Don't be surprised if this game is like from 2018, the Tampa game, the Panthers game, where it literally put me to sleep of how boring it was because we were just controlling the clock and we were just running the ball. So don't be surprised if those are one of the games, especially with Minka Fitzpatrick lurking on the back end. You don't want to really have to throw the ball that much, especially against a pass rush of the caliber of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So once again, like I'm agreeing with On the Warpath, is we need to establish the run. And whether that's Antonio Gibson getting a bunch of carries or is that just, that's one thing that before I even continue, that's one thing that's kind of going to be scary is that I don't want to keep going in and out with running backs. I don't want to have Gibson getting a carry on a series, then putting in Peyton Barber, then McKissick. I want one running back in that's going to be, gashing them. You know what I'm saying? At least 5 yards here, 5 yards. I don't want to keep going in and out because if we go in and out, then that's going to really kill the momentum for the last running back. You get what I'm trying to say here. So I really believe that we have to run this ball, man. Sometimes if we're not really a heavy play action team, but sometimes if we run the ball, maybe we can get Minka Fitzpatrick biting on a few over the top to Terry McLaurin. So, the run game opens up the whole playbook. So I really want us to establish the run. And when we have to pass, just make sure it's some quick passes to probably the flat. Obviously, we know that's going to be. We know that's where.
Yeah, right. That's Alex Smith.
We're gonna go to the flats, and if that's not open, then a quick pass to Terry McLaurin or Cam Sims, Dontre Inman across the middle. You know what I'm saying? Nothing where it's gonna require Alex Smith to look down the field, because once we do that, that's when we could be in a world of trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
So, with that being said, I think we need to just, like you said, pound the rock. I don't want bad weather, but because I don't want our players to possibly risk injury, especially what you just said that the field is bad out there. So I don't really want bad weather, but I want to make this an old school rushing game, and capitalize in the red zone and actually finish. Now, to your point where you said that they really blown out teams, they haven't really, and then you can correct me if I'm wrong, they haven't blown out a team besides Jacksonville this year. Every other game they played, they have been in a close game, or not even a close game. Not that that the team kept up with them, but more so they're allowing teams to climb back in the game, and that's one thing that that they can't do against us. If they allow us to hang around, we could snag it. And that's what, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you look at their schedules, most of their games, if not all, besides that Jacksonville game, has been one possession.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's if you take out the win against the Browns and Jacksonville and Cincinnati, you take those 3 games out. I mean, 5 points against Baltimore this Wednesday. What is this? This is 5 points against Dallas at Dallas, 4 at Baltimore, 3 at Tennessee, 9 against Philadelphia, 7 against Houston, 5 against Denver, 10 against. But it is. We say this though, and it just depends on what team you're getting and how the ebb and flow of the game goes. Sometimes, I always say Dallas played well because they kept Pittsburgh off balance. They ran a lot of gimmicks in that game. Now, with the weather and how that weather's going to be, are we going to be prone to? And I think Lamar said it's just going to be cold, so that might be good for us. But still, if you ever been to Pittsburgh in the winter, it is cold off that water. So the ball can get hard and all that stuff. But they are a victim of, or they're beneficiaries of who they had to play, and they went out there and beat them and taken advantage. Opportunities. They have taken advantage of every opportunity that's been afforded to them. And that's why they're 11-0. And it's hard to go 11-0. Heck, it's hard to go 5-0 in the NFL sometimes. So we can say they don't have quality wins, but right now this is the number 1 seed in the AFC, a team that Washington has not beat since I was about to turn 1 year old, and then Washington hasn't scored more than 16 points against Pittsburgh in this 6-game losing streak since 1991.
Yep. Shout out to Am Hunter. He says we are 43-33-4, but haven't beat these jokers since 2000. Help me out, fellas. So
91, Am Hunter.
I'm trying to pull up more of these comments here. But yeah, so like you said, man, we really just have to run the ball and establish the running game throughout the whole game. Because once we have to throw a million times with Alex Smith, that means we're trailing by a lot. And I hope that's not the case. So let me read Joseph Gibbs' comment. Joseph Gibbs writes, matchup good against these guys. The Steelers are not that good to me. Defense is beatable, or definitely beatable. My bad. Small on the phone. Yeah, man, definitely. Honestly, like I said, this team is 11-0, and you can't say they suck. You can't say they're the best team, because all they did was beat what was in front of them. They didn't ask to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. They didn't ask to play some of the other poor teams that they played. They had to take care of business, and that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? That's all they did. That's their record. That's their schedule. They don't have no control over it. But you're totally right. I'm saying this team is definitely beatable. This team is not scary. The Kansas City Chiefs will blow this team out the water. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it here first. If this is the AFC Championship, the Chiefs are blowing this team out the water. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just be brutally honest. I understand. Minka Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward. But that offense down there in Kansas City is on a whole nother level. So this Kansas City Chiefs team is really the team that should be 11-0. I'm gonna just be brutally honest. This team is definitely beatable. So let me read some more of the comments here. He says Kerrigan will need to come up big. Yeah, Kerrigan do need to come up big, and I think for you can correct me if I'm wrong here, or actually not really correct me if I'm wrong, but have your own stance on this. I believe that we will use Kerrigan more in this game only because we already know Chase Young's going to be double teamed. And I'm not going to say what good is it him being double teamed because he obviously still can win a double teams, but sometimes why not put Kerrigan in there and have him possibly show what he still has and whip up on their offensive line? Because let me just be real, outside of Pouncey, their offensive line is a veteran offensive line, but it's not something to slob over. You know what I'm saying? It's not, oh my Lord, this offensive line is phenomenal. So we can get back there. So with Chase Young being double teamed, why not see more of a Ryan Kerrigan?
Yeah, I agree with the 110%. I think I've been saying this for like 3 weeks now. I want to see more of Tim Settle.
Yeah,
because I call him the Midas touch because everything when he goes in there, it seems like things go right. He'll get a sack. I think he was actually on the field when Montez got that interception. So put him out there. Ryan Kerrigan, he's good. He's good as a role. He's good in his role, which is out there being a pass rush specialist. I will visit one point because I want to make this point about the offense for Pittsburgh. The defense for Pittsburgh. Since week 8, they have had 2 or more turnovers forced in each game. They had 4 against Jacksonville, 4 against Baltimore the first time, but they are averaging pretty much about 2 turnovers a game. Right. So that you got to take care of the ball too. Like Alex can't.
My bad. How many they have last game versus Baltimore? I know Joe Hayden got a pick 6.
2. They had 2.
Okay.
They had 4 against Jacksonville, 2 against the Bengals, 2 at Dallas, and 4 against Baltimore. Then they've got, most of their games, they've got, how many games do they play? They played 11 games, right? Only 3 of those games, only 2 of those games. So in 9 games won, they have had 2 or more turnovers forced by this defense.
Right.
You got to take care of the ball. You have to. We can't have an Alex Smith turnover. We can't have a fumble because, like I said, they take care of those out. They take advantage of those opportunities right there, and the numbers don't lie. Forced turnovers. It's gonna it'll kill you every single time.
Yeah, man. You definitely hit it right on the head. But one thing I will say is, if we do turn over the ball, the Steelers are undefeated. We understand, and that's going to be the key point that we keep going back to. They're undefeated, but they struggle in the red zone. And who are they going up against this weekend, or should I say this week? The number 1 red zone defense, I believe, since coming out of the bye. If not number 1, we're definitely top in red zone defense coming out of the bye. So I don't want to turn over the ball, but hey, we've been preaching about getting stops. Just because you turn over the ball, they don't have to score 6. Hold them to 3, and that's what we've been doing for these ever since we came out of the bye. So shout out to my boy Tall Guy. He writes, "Wrap up and tackle Ben will not go down easy, and arm tackle won't cut it. Hit it right on the head. Hit it right on the head. Big Ben Roethlisberger, they call him Big Ben for a reason because the guy is humongous." So, and big boy diehard fan Walker writes, "Any given Monday." And I know you guys are probably going to call me a homer here and call me biased, but I'm going to be honest. This could be a trap game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game right here, they played 11 teams, and I honestly believe this is the team that they don't want to face. I'm going to be honest, guys. And you can have your own opinion on this, guys, in the comment section, and tell me if I'm tripping. But you don't want to face this Washington football team. Now, let me get to, before I continue my statement, let me get to one of these comments here that I did see that I want to talk about. He said this long layover scares me. There you go, my boy, right here. He says, I don't like this long layover for us, but if we're gaining more confidence, we could sneak this game. However, Mike Tomlin will have his team ready. Oh yeah, definitely for sure. Did you see Warpath where he was pissed after their win versus Baltimore? He came out and actually said that we played horrible, and quite frankly, he's right. So for the people that think they're going to come out here and plan solve, you're totally tripping. You're tripping.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, and I think people are going to think I'm crazy when I say that. I think it's a trap game for both teams.
Explain.
And what I mean by this is we've got this confidence that, and Ron Rivera's probably talking them up, and the coaching staff is like, hey, look at what these guys did against Baltimore. We can take advantage of these guys. They're on a short week. We've had the rest, blah, blah, blah. And we can go in there and beat them, right? And we're looking at this game on paper. We're like, hey, you know what? This isn't too far off from being reality. I felt the same way in 2016. I thought Pittsburgh was trending downward. And they came out here and they made the playoffs and they beat us like a drum. I think this game could line up just like that. In Pittsburgh, they're 11-0. They've got a 4-7 team coming in there. And they're like, well, you know what? We should beat the dog mess out of them. We don't lose to Washington, although we don't play them that often. We don't lose to these guys. We don't give up a lot of points to them. So I really do think it's a trap game for both teams coming in there. I know it usually goes to the team who has a better record, but I don't know. Sometimes your confidence can turn into arrogance. So is Washington going to be arrogant? Or are they going to go out there and put the head down and play ball? And then are they going to take Mike Tomlin's comments to heart and be like, hey, coach put us on notice, so we need to go out here and prove something to him?
Yeah, totally. And I'm going to just be honest with you here for a second. If this was Jay Gruden's team, arrogance could really be a thing. But under Ron Rivera, I highly doubt it. I doubt Ron Rivera is going to allow his team to be arrogant. He's going to humble them real quick. And even if they do become arrogant, early in the game or, on the way to the game, whatever, Ron Rivera's not going to let that slide. He's
right.
So let me get to the comment section here. Shout out to Lee. He writes, strong part of, like I told you, some of these comments are like half written on the screen, so let me get right. Says, luckily, the strong part of their offense or our offense is the run, and that the weak spot of their D, hopefully, our young bucks could step up. Yeah.
Fair.
Honestly, I really do appreciate that super sticker by AM Hunter. The $3 super sticker. Appreciate that, AM Hunter. I really do. 50 in the stream. Make sure you guys like the stream. Subscribe if you're new. And another comment here writes, they're coming into the game hype. The Steelers are, and another thing, the left side of the offensive line is weak. Yeah. And I know you probably already seen it. Everyone should have seen it. Stephon Tuitt actually wrote on Twitter that pad your stats tonight against the Ravens. And I'm going to just be the first to say it here if no one else has said it. If he's saying that against a division of opponent, what do you think he's saying about us?
Ha! Oh, God. That's all the bulletin board material you need. I forgot about that because he was hurt, right? Tuitt was hurt, and he didn't play in that game, or he had the virus. I know he wasn't playing in that game. So, I mean, what bulletin board material do you need to go out there and say, like, he thinks the team that, and they said this is the best rivalry in the NFL for like the last decade or so, right? And it is. Somebody says that. What do they think about a team that they go in and they know they can run, that they've run all over when they play them every 4 years? I think that, hey, They overlooked the Ravens. They weren't overlooking the Ravens. But maybe they might overlook us. I don't know. But yeah, you should put that up there and be like, hey, this is what he thinks of a team they play all the time. What do you think he thinks about y'all?
Exactly. And shout out to my boy Lamarick Anderson. He writes, Pouncey might be out, and that could be beneficial to us. Oh, I don't. What's going on with him? I don't really know. Can someone fill me in the comments? What's going on with
Is he on the
Pouncey?
list? Yeah, I think. Is he on the COVID list too? I saw that on Twitter that he was.
But didn't he play Wednesday? So that must have mean he must have just called it.
Let me see.
Was
Pouncey.
Okay,
because he's not on the injury report.
Okay, yeah. So Lamarick says he was placed on the COVID list. Okay. So let me get some of these comments. Shout out to Chase Bill. He says, I think the Steelers are going to come into this slow and have a mentality that they are going to walk all over us. We need to take advantage of that and put points up early. Couldn't agree with you more. But one thing I will say is they're 11-0, guys. What do you expect them to come in here and think? Now, it's our job that we humble them real quick and show them otherwise and actually punch them in the mouth and show them that we're not going to go out like that. But they're 11-0. They have all rights in the world to feel like they're going to demolish us. It's up to us to not allow that to happen. You feel me? So, Tone Ho writes, did the left tackle of the Steelers get injured? That's why the left side is so weak. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Who is their left tackle? It's not David
Villanueva. I can't say his name. He was in the military for a little bit. Alejandro.
Oh yeah, Alejandro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Villanueva. I can't think of what his name is.
David DeCastro. Yeah, I know you're talking about Alejandro.
Yeah.
I think that
he's no, he's not hurt. He just he's been on the injury report, but Villanueva. That's how you say it. Villanueva. I'm sorry. Oh. I can't hear you, bro.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, you can hear me but can't see me, huh?
Yeah, can't see.
I don't know. Let me see here. Okay, so I'll just roll like this because I guess my camera decides to go out. But yeah. So their left side. Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Someone keeps calling me. That's why it keeps going out. So Villanueva is their left side. If I'm saying that right, I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I said I get tongue tied. You got it right.
Hey, we're gonna call him Vanilla because he's soft.
Oh, I ain't doing that, man. I ain't messing with nobody.
Let me calm down. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Yeah, bro. He was in the army, brother. He was in the army. I ain't called no man that was in the military soft. Yep. Like Charlie Villanueva.
Okay. Yeah. Charlie, isn't that a basketball player?
I think so. Is it basketball?
That name sounds familiar.
I think he played for Milwaukee. I think he played for the Bucks for a little bit.
That's a basketball player right there. I don't know what team he played for, but the Bucks.
Yep, he did play for the Bucks.
Okay.
Yeah, he had no eyebrows. Okay. Oh God, yeah, he had no eyebrows. Like oh gosh, like he looks like Josh Dobbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Toho, right? So we have to attack their left side. So speaking of the left side, do you want to, as far as attacking the left side, do you want to run it up the gut? Do you want to run some zone runs, some stretches? Well, how would you attack it if you were Scott Turner as far as trying to attack the left side?
Well, when you're playing that 34 defense, I think you might have some opportunities to maybe kind of get the zone going, open up them holes a little bit. Get a little bit of spacing for your fellas. So that's kind of how I would do it. I don't think powering it up the gut is going to really work. They have actually a Jack Del Rio draft pick and Tyson Alualua as their nose guard. So I don't think you're going to be. I think you're going to have to stretch. You're going to have to make these guys hustle and everything like that on the run.
Yeah, so we can confirm that it was the bald head guy.
Yep, he looks just like Josh Dobbs.
Okay, so I'll take. I know who it is, but I can't. I don't know why I thought he played for the Magic for some reason, but that's neither here nor there. But it says, DJ writes, "Get to Big Ben. That's the key to win." Rhyming accidentally right there. That's neither here nor there. Let me see here. Try to get to some of these more comments. He says, "Blitz a backer to the left side." Why does it necessarily have to be a backer? Why can't it be Cam Curl? I know Cam Curl is more specifically coming from the right, but why not Shays? We like to throw in these safety blitzes here and there. So hey, why not try to get cute with those? But at the same time, you can't get cute versus an undefeated team.
Yeah, you're just going to overload a side on him. Got to just overload a side on him, whether it's blitzing the backer, whether it's if you want to put good use to Troy Apke, maybe get him on maybe in like a dime nickel package and get him spying or something on Ben Roethlisberger and then blitz him. I don't know, but something creative. I think Del Rio, if I'm not mistaken, Del Rio has had some nominal success against Mike Tomlin. You got to think about it. His first year, Mike Tomlin's first year in Pittsburgh, they went to the playoffs and lost at home at Pittsburgh against Jack Del Rio in that squad. So they have opportunities where they can beat Pittsburgh, and they're familiar. And Jack Del Rio's familiar with how
let me see something right quick.
Run that team. Have opportunities where they can beat Pittsburgh, and Jack Del Rio's familiar with how. Shut that dude up over there. Run that team.
Hey, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Hold on.
I don't know if that's my, because I can hear you on my computer, so I think that's my. Try to pull it back. Says Pittsburgh is not that good. Yeah, I could definitely agree with you on Pittsburgh not that good. But hey, they're 11-0 for a reason. Right. Shout out to Yannette Garcia or Gonzalez. Sorry about that. I don't know if I said your name right. I apologize if I did it, but you says I'm new right here. Thank you for coming to my channel. Subscribe if you're new and subscribe to my buddy on the Warpath if you're not. I still can't hear you, but I know you can hear me. So it says, how will the safety go since Everett is back? So the safeties will go, in my opinion. I think they might, and I know we're gonna hate it, but I feel that they might start Troy Apke just to work the shades of Everett back into the lineup just because he's coming off an ankle injury. I could be wrong, and they could, go out there and start with Shays and Cam Curl. But I feel that they might start with Troy Apke just because he's coming. Shays is coming back off the ankle injury.
Let's see the Apke comment.
Let me see here. I don't know why I can't hear you.
Shut that dude up over there.
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on tonight with my sound. Let me a second here.
It's tech, man.
We're going to continue with no sound.
Okay.
He says, Juan, do you think we can win these next games? Okay, so I'm going to go down the game list, and I'll let you go down the list on the Warpath, if that's cool with you. So we have Pittsburgh, obviously, this week at Juggernaut, 11-0 for a reason. And I think we have a good chance to win. I'm not going to predict us to win because every time I predict us to win, we lose. So Pittsburgh have a good chance to win. Then we play 49ers. 49ers might be, I know people are going to call me crazy, but the 49ers might be the hard game, in my opinion. Then after that, but we still have a good chance to win. Then after that, I believe we play Seattle at home. That's another winnable game. We take advantage of their defense, but at the same time, they have Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson haven't been playing the same that he's been playing at the beginning of the year, but we still have a chance to win that game. So we gotta take advantage of that suspect defense. If we can get pressure on Russell Wilson, because I mean, just look at that Philly game. That Philly game, they were bottling up Russell Wilson in that offense for the majority part of that game. Yeah, I understand they have DK Metcalf and this like that, but that offense is good. But that we have a great chance to win that game. Then the game after that, I believe it's Carolina. I'm not sure. I believe it's Carolina though. And we have a good chance to win that game too. That could possibly be another trap game if they're starting PJ Walker. But we have a good chance to win that game. And we close out against Philly on the road. And we have yet another good chance to win. So we have a good chance to go 7-9, 8-8, 9-7. Says, I need you to be a little more of a homer. Hey, man, I try to be as unbiased as possible. So before we get out of here, I'm going to let On the Warpath give his opinion on the last 5 games.
Yeah, so I've said this all the last few games. I said the team with the most points is going to win the game, right? Obviously. I think this game will be tough. I think it's winnable. I think every game is winnable pretty much, unless you were playing Kansas City. So I think that there's a possibility we can win this game. San Francisco, I'm kind of agreeing with Juan. 2 of Ron Rivera's worst losses in Carolina over the last 2 years have came to the next 2 coaches that we play, which is Mike Tomlin. They gave a 50 burger up. His last 2 50 burgers that Carolina gave up were at Pittsburgh and again and at San Francisco. They gave up 51 with Kyle Allen starting last year. So I think San Francisco, that might be a hard game. It's not hard. It's not a difficult game win because they don't have Kittle, but their defense is still there. Then we go home to Seattle. I really don't see how we beat Seattle just because they've got the quarterback. Now, if we find a way to stop that machine known as DK Metcalf, there's opportunities to be had there. Carolina, I think, is a winnable game, but it could be a very Washington game where they are a bad squad, and sometimes we kind of play down. I could see us playing tough and maybe going 2-1 in this stretch coming up. But it really is how the cookie crumbles with these guys. And then Philadelphia, I think that's another winnable game because Doug Peterson pretty much wants to get fired. That is what he's playing for. That's his end game, is to get fired. And Carson Wentz has lost all of it, and it might be a time for him to change sceneries as well. Let's see here. Yeah, but that's pretty much. I mean, I could see us going 3-2 down the stretch as best. Can you hear me now, Juan? I don't think so. But yeah, I think that's best case scenario. Can't hear you. I can't hear you now.
I was talking this whole time and my mic was muted. My bad.
Oh, Lord.
So I agree with you on all of that. But I really do feel for some reason that we have a chance to win the game versus Seattle. But, hey, we saying otherwise that we get humbled real quick. So I'm not going to, use that and try to say, hype our fans up and say we're going to win that game because that's very challenging game. Now, like I told you, that 49ers game is the one that really scares me the most. I don't know if I'm the only one, but that could be the game that really caused us to lose this division. I'm going to be real with you guys.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. Like I said, these 2 coaches that he's getting ready to play in consecutive weeks gave 50 points. Both Carolina teams gave up 50 points to these guys. They did it in San Francisco last year, and then the year before that, they did it at Pittsburgh on their owner's return to Pittsburgh, where he was an investor with the Steelers. So, I mean, these could be good games. They could be disastrous. Maybe Ron has learned from the tape. So, we will see, man.
Yeah. Okay. So let me read some of these comments here. Like I told you, I'm really free balling this time. I really can't hear you in my ear. I don't know what happened to the sound, but I know we're good. So I'll get to some of these comments. I want Candy 67, right? A loss to Pittsburgh, a win at Arizona, the Niners, an L to Seattle, a win against Panthers, and a win against Eagles, 7-9 to win prediction. And do you think that wins the East? I want Candy and Warpath. Do you think that wins the East?
Yeah. I think 7-9 could win the East very well.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think it could win. I think it could win the East.
So my question to you is, do you see that playing out like that? Like, do you see that exact scenario, or what is different about your record prediction and scheduling?
Say that one more time, Juan. I didn't hear you.
Has there really been an echo this whole time?
No. Not now. Well, I can hear myself now because you got me playing in the background. But I don't hear no echo.
Okay, all right. So once to clear it up, it wasn't an echo?
No.
Okay,
no, it is an echo. I hear echo now.
Okay. Let me get rid of it real quick. All right. So is it still going on?
Nope. Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place tonight. It says, so we don't play Arizona again. No. He was referring to we play in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So we play the 49ers in Arizona. Okay. So, I can hear you.
You hear me now? Oh. Hi, everybody. This is not my channel. This is one guy's channel, but we're having some technical difficulties. That was SP. Oh, man. Let me see here. Yeah, Redskin 007, he was talking. Commentate says.
I'm back. I'm totally sorry for the lag tonight. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
Man, it's just one of them days. It's one of them days. It's Friday. It's a Freaky Friday, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah. So you can. I know you probably already said it twice, but I didn't get a chance to hear it. So how do you see your this scheduling plan out for the last 5 games, and do you have us winning the NFC East?
Yeah, I think we can win the East. I think we're gonna back into it like you back your truck into the garage, pretty much. We just gonna get in there. We're gonna hit a couple of light poles, and we're gonna get it back up in there. I do think we have the best shot of winning the NFC East right now, unless Dallas finds a way to strike some gold. But I kind of told you and I talked about this in the summer. I said anywhere between 7-9 and 9-7. I gave them that kind of window as a record, and it's kind of playing out like that right now. I think that they're kind of on pace to what they can do. I didn't see them winning any games down this stretch, this 3-game stretch against Dallas, San Francisco, and Seattle. But it's like I told you. What did I tell you? It's just paper, right? It's just a paper schedule. You got to play these games, so you never really know. But I think they're on pace to be 7-9, and my God, to win the division. I mean, to say that, but that's why I said I've got that 2015 vibe that this team can possibly lock it up.
Yeah, man. I told you, Austin, I'm getting the 2016 vibe, and I know everyone's gonna be mad at me for saying it, but I feel like we're gonna have it in our hands. And I'm not even gonna say because I don't want to even bring that into the atmosphere. But you guys know what happened in 2016. So, my boy Anderson writes, with the scenario, we should be first in to get to the finish line. Yeah. So I just wanted to quickly talk about that, and then we can get out of here. Is we really, and I've been saying this all year, not year, but specifically all since we had a chance to win the division. It's like we have the chance to win this division to the point where it's like the State Farm commercial. You know, the State Farm commercial where it's like he has the dollar out and like, you gotta be quick at that. The little dollar, the little thing we just hold the dollar on, that's the NFC East, and we're the person trying to get the dollar. And it was like you got to be quicker than that. So hopefully we could win this division, and it's gonna be something like that.
Yeah, man. I think it's a possibility. It really is a possibility that we can go out here and take the crown, take the cheese, and run away with it. But you know, then there's opportunity. Like this still is not a good team. It's got good pieces. We're not a good team. We're 4-7. Let's not let's not keep that every time we get beat Dallas, and Scott Jackson was on the Burgundy Zone. So, and he was talking about, he said, you never take a win against Dallas for granted. But we also, when we beat Dallas, we think we can we can burn the whole world on fire. That hasn't been proven to be the case a lot of times. JP Finley put on Twitter too, man. I don't know if you saw this, but he said since 2005, Washington is winless when scoring 40 or more points. And that's been a handful of times. You think about RG3, we scored 40 against New Orleans. His second year, we scored 45 against Chicago. Those were back-to-back. Those were losses. We beat New Orleans, scored 47, almost 50 on it. And then we lost it. We went down there and got our tail spanked by Ron Rivera, actually. Got the break speed off of us. So I don't know, man. We got a lot of stuff that we could break in this game.
Yeah, man. I honestly believe you. And shout out to Ed Oliver, man. What's going on, Ed? What's going on to everybody else in the chat, man? But yeah, I honestly believe you. Man. With that one thing I keep referring to is for some reason I feel like that 49ers game we're going to lose that game. I don't want to bring it into the atmosphere, but that's outside of the Pittsburgh game, or excuse me, the Panthers game. That's the second easiest game left on the schedule, and for some reason I feel like we're going to wet the bed. What do you think about that?
You're not wrong for feeling that way.
Do you think it's going to happen?
Oh God.
Yeah,
I'm a possibility. See, I'm a possibility, man. I think it's a possibility. I think it's a great possibility that could happen. But everything's not set in stone, though. Like, this Washington team is totally different than it was in week 1, right?
Right.
And because of injuries and COVID and whatever thing is happening in a COVID world, anything's possible. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I gotta wait till the day before to tell you, because then I'm like, really, now it's like the hour before kickoff to realize if
30 minutes
possible. Yes, 15 minutes. Geico. It's a Geico commercial. Save on your car insurance.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. And let me get to this comment right here. It says Terry, DK, or AJ Brown. I mean, we're Washington fans. I mean,
1-7.
what's the obvious answer here? And I just feel like I've been saying, and a lot of Washington fans been saying, if Terry McLaurin had a consistent quarterback, he would be the best receiver in all of football. If you put him on the team with Russell Wilson or Patrick Mahomes or heck, I would even go out on a limb and say Justin Herbert, just to name a few, he would be the best receiver in all of football. It's just look at what he's doing without a consistent quarterback, and just imagine what he would do if he had a consistent quarterback. Is essentially what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, Scary. I love Scary because he's complete. Like he really is a complete wide receiver. We have this debate all the time, and I don't know why we have the debate. Can we just agree that these cats are equally just as good? I think that when I look at DK Metcalf and I look at Scary Terry, when I look at Captain Terry, not Scary, he doesn't like to be called Scary, but I see a lot of Rice in McLaurin. Like I see a baby Rice in him, and also DK Metcalf. I see the ethic and the build of a TO in him, not the attitude, but I see that work ethic and everything like that. The God-given ability that he has. But I just feel like there's something about Terry being a grinder. And I said this on Ed's Live earlier this week, and I'm going to tell it to y'all's folks as well. Terry McLaurin is the best wide receiver Washington has drafted since Art Monk. You might, and there's only one other that might suffice that, and that's Gary Clark. But you go back and look at who we've drafted as wide receivers, and you can think in recent memory how we failed at drafting wide receivers. He is probably the best wide receiver we have drafted since Art Monk, and it's not even close.
Yeah, man. Just imagine if someone that wore the number 18 jersey could have panned out, and just imagine what Doxson's jersey could have been. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even know why we went with Doxson, because watching his highlights, I wasn't that impressed. And Jalen Reagor is not all to the best side of his career, so maybe it's just in that TCU water that they don't pan out in the NFL. So just imagine what
wasn't Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas was in that draft, Juan. Michael freaking Thomas.
He was available for us to pick
in the second round.
We pulled the ultimate Philadelphia Eagles. They pulled it twice. We pulled it once. They had a chance to draft DK Metcalf last year. Went with JJ Arcega-Whiteside. JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Oh.
Who? I obviously know who it is, but compared to DK Metcalf, it's like, man. Then this year, they pulled it again, had a chance to get Justin Jefferson, but they got Jalen Reagor. Hey, Philly, all I'm going to say is continue to do that. We love it over here. But for our sake, we had a chance to get. Oh, just imagine what Michael Thomas and Terry McLaurin could have been. Oh man, that's literally. I don't see nobody stopping us.
Oh God, oh Lord, I get sick to my stomach. Everything, that's like the second time we screwed the pooch on a wide receiver in less than 10 years. Devin Thomas and Malcolm Kelly, I think they were. Somebody check me on this. They were drafted before Deshaun Jackson was.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody don't know who Malcolm Kelly is and Devin Thomas, but they still Deshaun Jackson. He still plays half a quarter a year in the NFL. So yeah, he plays half a quarter. He gets hurt all the time.
I wouldn't even give him that much. I think you've been a little too generous.
Well, you ain't right, brother.
I think you're being a little too generous with Deshaun. Woo! But I mean, yeah, we got Deshaun. We got him eventually, but at the same time, imagine a young Deshaun Jackson.
Here's another one. This is how bad we are. In 2001, 2001, my old heads remember this. We drafted Rod Gardner before Santana Moss.
So we just got lucky that he was still there.
We traded for him in 03, in 05. Because thank God for Joe Gibbs. But like, do you see like how bad how much bad luck we've had with having picks and evaluating wide receivers? It's almost criminal, brother. It really is. I mean, I get mad just thinking about it. A lot of stuff don't really make me mad. That makes me furious. But we finally got it right.
Let's just be happy we got Cal Smith.
Jamming at Christmas, brother. Woo! Hey, man. I wasn't trying to go off on your channel.
I love this. This is cool, man. I really do. But we've been going for an hour and 25 minutes, and we typically go for an hour. But I do want to ask you this question before we do get out of here. One, let's just toast to be happy that we got Cal Smith. That's one. So hopefully we don't have any more of those hiccups as far as picking talent. And two, how do you see us assessing the quarterback position? Me personally, I'll go and I'll let you go. And I know we could debate about this too.
Oh, yeah.
I think the smart route is for us to keep Alex Smith for the next 2 years, have a chance to win this division for the next 2 years while still learning. And then in those 2 years after he's done, pass the torch to Kyle Allen. I know. I'm already prepared for it. I know.
Yeah, you bro, you was talking that. I said, Juan, I was eating dinner, man, and I almost threw up my dinner when you said that. I was like, oh, Lord, Kyle Allen. I said, that's my boy. I love you. You my YouTube brother. That's all I said. Oh, God. I said, I see where you're coming from. I do see where you're coming from. Don't think I can always see where you're coming from. I think I'm cool with Alex Smith for another year, maybe a year and a half, on the contingency plan that you do draft a quarterback, whether it's later on, whether it's in the first round, but you do need a quarterback. I don't think that and I've said this before, and I said in Nazis Live on a comment, this fan base, this team has proven time in and time out that they have no patience to develop a rookie quarterback and give them the tools, whether it's RG3, whether it's Dwayne Haskins. You can go back and say Jason Campbell at the time. They don't want to surround these guys with weapons. They want to give them Dollar General brand instead of going and going to Walmart or Target or something. They want to go and get the half crap stuff. I think you could get I don't think Zach Wilson's going in the second round. I really don't. Maybe if you think Kyle Trask is worth looking at, maybe go out and get him. Or if you think you can trade up in the draft and get Justin Fields or Trey Lance. I'm cool with drafting Trey Lance on the contingency plan that he sits at least a year and learns from Alex Smith. But it might not be over with for Dwayne Haskins, as crazy as all this stuff sounds. Dwayne could come back and be the starter. I've given him grief, but I don't want to see him fail, because if he fails, that means we failed. So I could see Alex starting again. But I don't think Kyle Smith is a viable, not Kyle Smith, but Kyle Allen is a viable option for long-term success at the quarterback spot. I just don't feel it. He turns the ball over too much. He did it in Carolina last year. He had like 16 interceptions. He got sacked a lot too. And to be honest with you, I think the offensive line is much more improved than what we thought it was going to be, especially since Wes Schweitzer has moved over to left guard, man. Yeah, that's too much time. I feel like Haskins may take 5 years to do that. No, Skins fan don't play. It's right. No, he like, "Ooh, Lord, that brother is like, oh my God, he's like waiting on another election or something." That's what he's like. Hey, that's what Dwayne's development is. So, yeah, man. Or if you want to, if you don't think Alex is gonna want that money and not renegotiate a contract, you got two options. Wait and see what Dallas does, then go out and throw money at Dak. Or hear me out. This is my crackpot theory. Call Houston. Be like, yo, what you want for number 4?
Think
what you want for number 4?
Give up Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, if they are.
I'm thinking at least 2 first rounds, if any, to even have a discussion with them.
I'll do it. I would do it for Deshaun Watson. Yes, the man is a winner.
I'm sorry, I'm not doing that.
I hear you.
I'll prefer Dak Prescott, and if Dak Prescott hits free agency, I'm signing him. I'm sorry.
Oh
Dak
no,
Prescott,
I agree with you.
Yeah. So I'm saying, but to compare the Deshaun Watson or Dak Prescott scenario, I'm sorry. I'm not giving up 2 first round picks because we'll have a conversation with and possibly have Deshaun Watson, but at the same time, look what that does for our future. First round picks. What if in a couple years with those first round picks, wherever they may land, as far as on the draft board, look at our future. We're kind of putting a dent into our future as far as drafting first round talent. And no, you don't automatically need first round talent to be good, but it's always good to have that first round talent drafting, whether that's a left tackle, a tight end, a wide receiver, whatever. But I just don't think that's smart as far as our future. We're trying to build a young winning team. That's not smart.
I hear you. I hear you, brother. I'm just like, I think it's worth the exploration for it to see if they would do it. Because he's got that big contract now. And maybe the draft capital might not be as much if they want to get that off the books. But I that's my fantasy. That's a fantasy for me.
We're all entitled to that. We're all entitled to that.
I'm chasing I'm trying to chase it. He's a winner. He's won at college. He's been winning in the NFL. Like my favorite Deshaun Watson story, and he is like probably one of the 3 quarterbacks I'll just stop and watch. I enjoyed watching him on Thanksgiving. And when he went out, they played in Jacksonville and then had to be in a game. They had to be home. He could not fly because of some medical condition, because of an injury he sustained. He got on the bus and was ready to go to play. He had to go drive and then played pretty well. I got to go find the story, but I want that. I want that as a quarter. I want that in my quarterback. I do.
I think Dak Prescott's that kind of guy, though.
I hope so. I hope so too. Now, the only knock on Dak is they said, well, we put all the weapons. Oh, you need to apologize to me too. You know that, right? I got Protec, but I gotta get you too. When I said remember back in the summer, I said Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in the NFC East.
Hey, but look,
I can defend myself here.
But still, coming into the season, I told you that Carson Wentz was the best quarterback in this team. And do you see the predicament that he's in? Yes, I've been telling you all the time that Carson Wentz, he is a turnover machine this year. He is literally a part of the reason why the Eagles is failing right now. But look at what's around him. The offensive line is in shambles. He's literally he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. He has no weapons around him. He has his number 1 receiver, Travis Fulgham. You seen how quick that turned. I was slowly becoming a Travis Fulgham fan, and then he just disappeared. Who's his next best receiver? John Hightower? John Hightower's a Maryland boy, so I would defend John Hightower, but come on, man. If you wanna have the discussion, a healthy Dak or a healthy Carson Wentz, give me Carson Wentz all day.
Oh no, man!
Oh
no.
what? Oh
no,
dude. Are you seriously gonna have this conversation with me that a healthy Dak is better than a healthy
Yes, sir. I will.
2017 Carson Wentz? MVP Carson Wentz, if he didn't tear the ACL, he would have won that MVP trophy. Oh my Lord, I can't talk. He would have won it without a discussion.
I'll be honest with you, Juan, and like this is speculation, bro. I don't know if Philadelphia wins the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz on it.
Hey.
I don't. And I can honestly say that. I think if you put Dak out of the distractions of Dallas and Jerry, and you put him in Philadelphia, I do think he could win it, man.
But you could say the same thing for Carson Wentz.
I don't know, man.
Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman are literally hell. So you can say the same thing as far as Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman to Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones. I just feel, and that's my opinion.
I hear you, brother. Yeah,
I know. We're having a debate here. Carson Wentz is better than Dak Prescott, and I guarantee you this: if Carson Wentz, and they're not going to get rid of Carson Wentz because they're paying him too much money. If they trade him or cut him, whatever, they're going to take a humongous cap hit, not no normal cap hit, but they're going to take a humongous cap hit. So I'm going to say this. If Carson Wentz goes to Indianapolis, and I said this before the report even came out, I've been saying if he goes to Indianapolis, he might win the MVP trophy again.
Oh.
I'm going to just be real with you.
Turn out the lights.
Is Carson Wentz really that bad to you?
He's not, bro. Carson, and I tell you this why. Carson Wentz pre-Super Bowl, yes, is better than Dak Prescott. Carson Wentz now in Philadelphia is not. And I will tell you this why. Nick Foles is his kryptonite because Nick Foles took this team, played the best game of his career against the best quarterback in NFL history, in Tom Brady, and beat him. And beat the best coach in NFL history. Beat the number 2 seed. The number 2 seed in the NFC. Case Keenum was quarterback, whatever, don't matter. But they blew out Minnesota, beat Atlanta. And they built a statue in Philadelphia to Nick Foles. Wentz is the most emasculated athlete in sports because of that. They have taken his man. Philadelphia took his manhood away when they put that statue and they won that Super Bowl there. And he has never been able to rebound from that.
And also this is also Philly trashing them too. They drafted Jalen Hurts. So how
that too. See, they don't even believe in him. They don't believe in him. They draft him a second round pick.
But I'm telling you, man, if he goes to a team with, I'll say this, you could really do this, right? You put Carson Wentz on the Cowboys. I think I don't know. I don't think I'm ready to say that because Dak was balling out before pre-injury. I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet. But I was just about to say, if you put Carson Wentz on the Cowboys with all those weapons this year, and possibly a healthy offensive line, because their offensive line is in shambles too. If they have a healthy offensive line and weapons, if you give them what Dallas has with CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup,
right,
Carson Wentz is going to do something.
Yeah, I think. And then you got to think about it. Dak played prime. Dak was ready for prime time and ready for the big stage anyway because he played in the SEC.
Right.
And he got Dak Prescott. If y'all, I don't know, a lot of people remember Dak Prescott junior year was better than Dak Prescott senior year. And I think they had some good wins in there. Back in that, I think it was it the 2014 season or something like that. But Carson ran through teams at North Dakota State. They just ran through them because there's nobody else. Like he didn't have competition until they really went to the playoffs in that in Division I. I mean, they had their big win was against Kansas State at Kansas State. I don't even know.
But I could agree with you on that front, but at the same time, that's what makes him even more impressive. The fact that he was able to come to the NFL and be as dominant as he was pre-injury. Yeah. This is a guy last year that took his team with the whole squad of practice squad receivers and practically offense to the playoffs. But I digress because why are we cheering? Why are we talking good about our rivals?
Because they might be one of them might be our quarterback next year. You never know.
Hey man, but let me.
We could get wins.
Yeah, we can get wins, and I'll take wins. I'll take wins over that. But let me get to this super chat. If we beat the Steelers in a closed home game or a close game, how do you think Washington fans react? We get too hyped and sports media reacts. We got lucky because they were on a short week. Okay, I'm gonna say this because if we win this game, the NFL media is gonna get on their knees, and you know what's next after people get on their knees. They are going to start showing Washington so much fake love, it's going to be crazy. Now, do you think fans react and we get hyped? Too hyped? Of course we're going to get too hyped. This is the only undefeated team left. What do you expect? We deserve to get too hyped if we knock off this team. Now, do you think we get lucky and the media is going to say that it was because it was a short week? Of course they are going to say that. I mean, duh, we're the Washington football team. They're going to find a way to try to spoil our moment if we do it. So what do you think about that, Warpath?
Oh, God. Juan, you know how I am after a win. You follow me on Instagram. You know the stupid stuff I do. Oh, my God. Juan, Washington fans won't be able to stand me if we win. Like, I can't stand myself. Like, this is going to be, like, I said, if we win, I told my fiance, I'm calling her dad, who's a big Steelers fan. I said, I'm calling my father-in-law. He probably going to say, don't you marry my daughter. I'm going to tell her to send the ring back because I'm just going to be a fool if we win this game. Big if. Big I, little F. If we win this game. Bro, yeah, and they're going to be like, it's not going to be Washington won the game. It's going to be Pittsburgh lost this game. It's going to be it's going to be the assessment, though. But it's like I said, man. It's going to be straight ones down the corner. Hopefully, 11-1 for Pittsburgh. And to be honest with you, I think Pittsburgh, going into the playoff, going in December, it's hard to win in Pittsburgh anyway in December. But they need to find a loss somewhere before they go in this playoffs, just so they can get that monkey off their back. I think if they do lose, they will. Yeah, I think they could make some noise because they know how to bounce back. It's gonna be interesting once it happens because you get in the playoffs and you just finally discovering how to be humble. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah, man. Honestly, and shout out to the 16 in the stream. If you guys are new, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and also on the Warpath channel, whose channel link will be in the description down below. Subscribe to me and him. We're both great content creators for the Washington football team. But like you said, that they need to lose. Because if they don't lose, knock on wood, because I hope we're the team to knock them off.
Yep.
I hope we knock them off. And if they go into the playoffs undefeated, they're not going to win. I'm sorry, I'm saying this now. They're not going to win because being 16-0 going into the playoffs, it's so much pressure. It's so much pressure. So they need to lose. And if they lose, like you alluded to, they were going to make some noise if they get a loss. But if they go undefeated, which I hope not, because I hope we're the team to knock them off, they might not make no noise. Shout out to Protect Sports, man. He says, yo, what's up? What's going on, man?
Tone, that's my guy. 100 gram. I don't know how he do it. That's how he do it. But what's up, Tone?
What you guys say about that, Warpath?
Yeah. Girls don't give rings back. That's a fact. We going to Judge Judy then, Franklin. Girls don't, women should. But
okay, so this is the last time I want to talk about here. Yeah, what do you think about that?
He got to win another Super Bowl. He got to win a couple more Super Bowls to do that. But he is I would say he's the second best head coach that I've seen in my lifetime behind Belichick.
And Belichick one? Okay.
Yeah, because the man doesn't lose. He doesn't lose. He went, even though when they don't make the playoffs, he does not lose. He had more success in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, I don't get this about some of their fans. They're like, they wanted to fire this man. They wanted to fire. I'm like, for what?
I remember last
for
year.
What?
I remember not last year, but I feel like we did a stream before we got our coach. We did a stream together, and we were both talking about how Dan Snyder had a private Redskins jet in Pittsburgh and was trying to hire Mike Tomlin. Man, I love me some Ron Rivera, but if we would have got Mike Tomlin, I would have been doing backflips.
Oh yeah,
Mike Tomlin. I love me some Ron Rivera, and Ron Rivera and Mike Tomlin are kind of the same coach. But to have a brother as the Washington football team head coach,
yep, Chocolate City got a chocolate coach. That's what they were trending for. I mean, I think he's great, man. And that's what it is. Like, I think you don't really need great football. Like you don't need to be this great X's and O guy to be a great head coach. I mean, I think you have to be a leader and know how to direct men. I think you have to be at first. And then second all, you got to be you got to be a great football mind.
Right.
And then, because if you don't have character, if you don't have leadership, if you're not able to know how to do things, why do you think Ben Roethlisberger is successful? Mike Tomlin lets him be Ben. Why do you think Cam Newton was pretty good in Carolina? Ron let him be Cam. He lets these guys do what he treats them like men. It's the same thing. Joe Gibbs, you look at some of the players that they had. I mean, Dexter Manley was on crack. John Riggins just did his own thing. Doug Williams was a marginal quarterback. Like, he wasn't great. He was average, maybe slightly below average. Mark Rippon, the same thing. Theismann was probably his best quarterback. He won Super Bowls with these guys, man. Running backs. Outside of Riggo, he had a lot of different running backs. I think he's probably the only coach in the history of the NFL to win 3 different Super Bowls with different quarterbacks and tailbacks in that set, because he did. He started with all. So I think that going back to Mike Tomlin, man, the dude gets it. And Pittsburgh some of these Pittsburgh fans should be ashamed of themselves for even acting like that, to be like, oh, he needs to get fired. It's ignorant. He is a hell of a coach. I'm sorry for cussing on you. He's even better. He's an even better dude, man. He really is. He is. And what else is better? The dude's from Virginia. He's from the DMV. Went to William and Mary. So he's from Virginia. He's a man, and he's smart. No dummy. No matter what, if you playing football or not, gets into William and Mary. You can't make this stuff up, bro.
Exactly. And man, if you can curse on the channel, we're being ourselves here.
I know, bro. I know.
So that's one thing I wanted to say here about Mike Tomlin is he never had a losing season in Pittsburgh. They didn't make it to the playoffs last year, but they didn't have a losing season. So Mike Tomlin and Ron Rivera are just they're as Chase likes to say, he's a dude, or they are dudes. They know what to do. They know what it takes to win. They don't want to be that coach that's trying to be that guy that tries to control their players. They let their players be them. And that's what makes them so great. Now, let me get to these last comments before we get out of here. He says, Alex Smith is 2-1 as the start of this year and 6-3 in 2018. That's 8-4 So to sum up the point, we have been 9-25 without Alex Smith. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's going on, King? Yeah, man. So with that being said, man, we've been going for an hour 50 minutes. Longest stream I've done, as far as talking here.
Hey.
So thank you guys for coming on to the stream tonight, man. I had a blast talking with On the Warpath. Once again, if you guys don't know, I stream every single Washington football team game every single Sunday, or in this case Monday, and last week Thursday. And so does my man On the Warpath. So why not? What's better than watching one? Two. So have me on your phone, have On the Warpath on his computer, or vice versa. Have you on your computer and have On the Warpath on your phone, and watch both of us, because we will be streaming the game. I'm correct, right? We will be streaming.
Oh yeah. I'll be 4:45, and I've got a live at 9:00, so I'm doing my preview. So
okay.
Come and pull up on the channel. I'll go over the game. It's not gonna be as long as it usually is, but I'll talk for about a half an hour, open it up for a little bit, and then we'll do picks, and we'll get the heck up out of there.
Yeah, definitely, man. So appreciate everyone for coming through. Shout out to On the Warpath for doing this. I appreciate all you guys. It's me, boy, One Gotti, and On the Warpath. I'm out. Peace.
See you guys.